What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I'm honestly starting to think that I live in a pussy ass era of boxing. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the sport of boxing, I love the fans, but I just feel like when has boxing become so soft? Now, what I'm talking about in this video, as you guys can tell from the title, is the excuse of it's up to my promoter, a constant way for these fighters to defer. Now, I'm dropping the duck list, which is going to make a lot of people pissed off. It's all supported, it's all factual. I didn't make up anything. So I'm going to drop part one of it very soon. So be on the lookout and prepare and brace yourselves to be pissed off, because I know a lot of you guys are extremist fans and you're going to be pissed off. Now, the thing with the promoter, I feel it's a constant way for these fighters to defer and have a scapegoat. And the fans bite it. They eat that shit up like fucking oatmeal, and they run with it. Like, oh, it's up to the promoter. See, it's Al Heyman, it's Bob Arum. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand how business works, and I'm not saying these promoters are free of fault. I'm not saying that at all. However, when did we get to this point where the boxers have no fucking control of their career? They can't grab the bull by the horns as a fight. That is your job. Think about it like this. Your job is to take punches and to fight a person, another man, an equal or woman if you're a female boxer. And your job is to fight. So when it comes to making these fights, what happened to that fighting spirit? The spirit that's going to say, I want this fighter, and make it happen to my promoter. It's like these people cower down to their promoters or whatever and use it as a scapegoat to allow certain fights to not happen. Now, I'm going to give you guys some analogies in this video as well. I just don't understand. You're a fighter. Your whole life, your background, coming from nothing and making something and making a career out of it, is built on having heart, courage, tenacity, durability to get knocked out and bounce back and win a world title after a loss or disqualification. That's your MO as a fighter. Yet when it comes to making fights, it's up to my promoter. That doesn't make sense to me, man. And I understand business. Actually, I understand. I went to college and took a lot of business courses. I'm a pretty well-rounded person. And I understand the nature of the beast. Boxing is a business, so you have to do what makes financial sense. But the fights the fans are requesting would make financial sense. You know why? Because the fans, if you get on any YouTube forum about certain fighters and their immediate contemporary, you'll see comments like, for example, Adonis Stevenson fought yesterday. Go to any Adonis Stevenson video that has like 100,000 views or whatnot, and tell me you won't see a Sergey Kovalev comment. Tell me. And I know you will, because I've been to these forums and I'm a part of the boxing community. And you're going to see comments like that. Go to a Mayweather-Pacquiao video. You're going to see Mayweather and Pacquiao comments on those forums. You know why? Because fans want to see these fights. Triple G, Golovkin, and Cotto or Canelo, people want to see these fights. So there is money in these fights because the fans are telling you we want to see these fights. But nowadays in boxing, it's all about, oh, it's up to my promoter. Adonis Stevenson said yesterday, they're asking direct questions. I mean, I don't like fake people and shit, but since people already consider like Adonis, and this is not about Adonis Stevenson, he's an example, and there are going to be a couple examples in this video, but since people already consider you as ducking Kovalev, why not just give a straight answer? Like, I want to fight Kovalev, but I'm going to leave it up to my promoter, but I really want that fight. You know what I'm saying? He was like skirting around the issue and stuff like that. Now look at it like this. I was actually into acting. I have some friends in the industry and whatnot. And a promoter should be like your friend, or in the acting world, your agent. Now, one thing about acting, if you know anything about acting, or that's your forte or whatever, took drama class and you're pursuing acting, you'll know this. Your agent gets paid based on getting you jobs, getting you gigs. So if I have an agent and they're like, hey, Ego, in San Francisco, they're filming Jurassic Park, the new Jurassic World movie, and there's a casting call. You should go. And then they give me all the information, the dates and stuff, and they try to book me for that to get an audition. Now, if I land the role in a big, summertime blockbuster movie, guess what? they're going to get a cut, 10%, 15%, whatever you guys have agreed upon. In the boxing world, it is no different. You're a fighter, your skill is to fight. Your promoter doesn't have to lace them up or anything, but it's their responsibility to get you those fights. Right? So we're all on the same page, right? And in boxing, it just so happens that these fighters are getting fights. They're just not the fucking fights we want to see. You know what I'm saying? There's Danny Garcia, Rod Salka. I don't want to see that. I'd rather see Danny Garcia fight a slew of people. Hank Lundy even. Victor Postal. Lamont Peterson. I would even entertain a Lucas Matisse after 2 knockout wins in a row. A rematch with that. Mauricio Herrera. That was controversial. Why not fight him instead of Rod Salka or whatnot? But again, using the acting example and analogy, that's not what these promoters are getting. And this is the thing. It's like we're in an age of boxing where, let's say you want these tough fights. You want the fights that are going to win you respect. Because at the end of the day, why are you in a partnership with a promoter who can't deliver what you want? That makes no sense. So if I'm a fighter and the promoter's giving me shit fights that are making fans lose respect for me and put cherries all over my social media, call me a pussy and ducking and stuff like that, me being the fighter that I am, I'm not going to settle for that. I don't want that. So I'm going to march down to my promoter's office like, yo, you got to give me some solid tests. But that's not what a lot of these boxers are doing. Instead, they're just deferring. It's up to my promoter. And then we just deal with these bullshit ass fights that no one wanted to see, that aren't competitive. Leo Santa Cruz versus whatever bum he fought on the Mayweather Maidana 2 card. Just bullshit. Nobody wants to see that. You know what I mean? Even Adrian Broner versus Emmanuel Taylor, it turned out to be a decent fight, but that's not the main fight people want to see. People want to see Broner and Lucas Matisse. So I just want to get back to the old school boxing. And again, if your promoter is not delivering what you need, then maybe, like in the acting world, you should reconsider that partnership. What am I paying someone for? That's cool that they're giving me a shit ton of money for low risk fights that no one wants to see. But what about the longevity of it, the damage control? You got guys like Adonis Stevenson, who was on top in 2013. Solid performance after solid performance. Knocked out Chad Dawson. Schooled Tavoris Cloud and stopped him. You know what I'm saying? And it was a breakout year for him. Then he backtracked. Same thing with Danny Garcia. Came lineal champ after a very tough schedule, and it seemed like he backtracked. And I don't understand it. Why would you want that for your career? You're not supposed to achieve greatness and then your life gets easier. If anything, getting to that plateau, that pinnacle, should make your career harder. You should be training harder. Danny Garcia, for example, shouldn't have to train less hard as a lineal champion because there's people who are after what you have. They're like, oh, Danny Garcia is blowing up. He has all these fucking belts. I want that. So if anything, that should up your game because people are coming after you. And we're not really getting that in boxing. And I had to make this rant video because I'm not understanding it. Again, using the acting example. If Will Smith is not getting the roles or he's getting bad advice even. Here's a fun movie fact. Will Smith was actually the one that they initially wanted for the role of Neo in The Matrix, right? And he chose to pass up on that to do the Wild Wild West. As you guys know, The Matrix created like animated series. It had 2 sequels after it, and it was a comeback role for Keanu Reeves and helped boost his career back because he hadn't really been in much before that was like doing what The Matrix did for his career. It kind of resurrected him, if you will. So let's say Will Smith's agent / advisor told him, hey, pass up the role, the main character in the fucking Matrix, Neo, pass that role up to do Wild Wild West. That's bad fucking advice because, again, Wild Wild West was a shitty movie. That was probably one of Will Smith's worst movies. That shit, I think I watched it once and never watched it again. I've seen The Matrix a couple of times. And again, it produced sequels and a lot of merchandise and it created, if you guys remember, the bullet time slow-mo effect. A lot of people were doing it. Charlie's Angels, a bunch of different movies were doing it after The Matrix. So it was pretty groundbreaking for its time. The concept, the special effects and cinematography, and what they decided to do with that movie. So again, if I was Will Smith, I'd be like, this is some pretty shitty ass advice. You told me to pass up on this. So imagine the actor or boxer getting bad advice after bad advice. What are you going to do? You're just going to be like, oh, it's up to my promoter. It's up to my promoter. When are these fighters going to man up and do kind of like what Canelo did versus Laura? Said, hey, fuck, this dude's been calling me out for years. He's hopping on stage. He's trying to embarrass me. Canelo took it back to the old days of Mexican pride, and I'm not going to let you disrespect me. And I respect him for that. You know what I'm saying? Any way you slight, I don't care if you hate Canelo. You gotta. I don't even care about the fight, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It was a controversial fight. Let bygones be bygones. However, Canelo was definitely in a position where he didn't have to fight that motherfucker Laura. Laura had been calling him out. Canelo's a superstar with or without Laura. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't need to appease Laura. He could have been like, oh, this guy's disrespecting me. Fuck him. I'm not putting no money in his pocket. But again, that old giant Mexican heart, he stood up to the bully who had been talking shit about him, quote unquote, and he gave it his all, and it was a tough competitive fight. Nonito Donaire. People talk shit about the Rigondeaux. Yep, Rigondeaux schooled him. I'll be the first to admit. And I'm from the Bay, like Nonito Donaire. However, I still give him more credit in his loss, a knockout loss to Nicholas Walters, because Walters was off of a Vic Darcini. He spun that boy around, and Donaire at least had the balls to face him after Rigondeaux. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's not just about losses. Look at the UFC, and some of them dudes have 10, 11 losses and still have fans rocking their shirts and then buying tickets and stuff like that. So I just wish boxing would get back to that, where it's less politics, less bullshit, and it's up to my promoter and all this shit. It needs to be up to you. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't get a firm grip on your career and you don't like the direction it's headed, then maybe you need to make those adjustments, you know what I'm saying, and do something about it. It's just like, I don't understand how these fighters are this tough, training camps, and they endure all kinds of troubles outside. Watch the Johnny Tapia movie. All these tasks and like trials and tribulations and things that try them outside of the ring, in the ring, false bullshit decisions and robberies and, you know what I mean, opponents on peds and just different obstacles that a fighter faces, right? Yet they can't even stand up to their own promoters who aren't providing them with fights that are going to secure their legacy. And I don't understand that, man. And people, like I said, I'm dropping this duck list and I'm going to make some people mad, but I really don't give a fuck. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. It's up to my promoter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope I'm never in a position, like, I understand everyone has a boss that they have to answer to, but I admire my creativity, and I hope I never get in a position where it's always up to my promoter. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I love having a YouTube channel and having it grow, because it's not up to shit but ego. I put out what I want to put out when I want to put it out, and that's not going to change. People can get mad, people can cuss me out and call me names. I don't give a fuck. It's not changing. So it's not up to my promoter, it's up to me, you know what I'm saying? And personally, I love having that creative freedom, if you will. Let me know what you guys think of this video, and the excuse and scapegoat is up to my promoter. Drop me some comments. Let me know your thoughts, and be prepared for the duck list coming soon. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.